Your very first guitar, nothing but a cigar box. Graduated magna cum laude, Miss Carter from the University of Hard Knocks. The birds and the bees, in the trees all the buzz. Down by the riverside, real life Johnny be good if they ever was. Now you're fully grown, them simple days are gone. You up on top, your foot's on the rock, so call your children home. No doctor or psychiatrist, even a medicine man understand the power of a guitar in your head. Somebody's feeling bad, you make them feel real good, like they never really was alone, and the pain is understood. Tonight you're on your own, strap that guitar on. Come on now, call your children home. That they call the seventh son. Maybe you heard a distant calling, answer like you have done. Or could it be that Jupiter has set for Venus free? Or maybe it's just the way the man intended it to be. Tonight you're on your own, strap that guitar on, put the fire to your friend. Call your children home. When he blew that mighty horn, step up to the spotlight, call your children home.
All right, well, welcome to Low Key. My name's Bing. I am the lay pastor for Recovery Ministry here at St. Luke's United Methodist Church. And I am thrilled to be with you tonight together with the Low Key Band. The Low Key Band tonight, Chris McCaa on keyboards and vocals, Professor Porkchop, Shawn Stroope on bass, who's been here for a string of weeks. We are so thankful to Shawn for being here. Ooh. Danielle Dyer, the Duchess on drums. Jason Coffield, who missed the last gig with this crowd.
I was late.
I'm sorry.
I missed the one before.
That's what it was. We are so glad you're here. He got out and he's so excited, and we're thrilled. The energy that we typically have in the room is not here because you're not here. But the energy of this gathering of artists and the energy of your spirit is what we thrive on. And it is such a gift from God for me to be here on a Friday evening, to be sober, to be on my path towards sanity, and to know that in spite of all that's going on in the world, I know that it is in the hands of a good and loving God along with me and all of us. So we have nothing to fear. Fear is the one thing that will ruin our day. And I hope that you have the opportunity to join in. If you want to, check in where you are. Let folks know that you're streaming this. Let them know that it's here. There may be people that you know that would like this and would like the opportunity to connect with this community, and we're just glad that we have that privilege. This is Low Key. It is a gift of St. Luke's Church and the recovery ministry program of this church. If you want to support Low Key, there is a way for you to do that. We aren't able to pass baskets here in the room, but we can do it virtually. If you go to St. Luke's webpage, our webpage is stlukesusumc.community. Is that correct? Our webpage is stlukesusumc.community. And on that webpage, there's an opportunity for you to support Low Key. Click on the donate button, put Low Key in the memo. We are thrilled to have starving musicians provided with a gig, and they have said over and over again how grateful they are that you are inviting them to be a part of your life in this way, which enables them to do what they do and what they do so well. So, again, thanks for being with us. One thing we are going to add, because we don't, again, not with each other in the same room, we typically receive from folks that are gathered any particular requests for prayer. We can still do that. There's a place there on Facebook where you can comment if you haven't discovered that already. If you have something that you would like either the Low Key community to pray for or for our prayer team to pray for, you can put it there. If you want it to remain anonymous, let me suggest that you send an email. You can send an email to recovery@stlukesusumc.community, and that will come to me, and we can make sure that our prayer warriors will pray with you and for you in any way that you ask. It is a way that we get to stay connected in spirit, and a very important way that we are able to support each other and continue to do that, even in the midst of social distance and single digits and keeping ourselves home and safe and healthy. We want to do that for the common good, for everybody's good. A special word of thanks. Tonight, as always, Gregory is our sound engineer, and he makes the wonderful music sound as wonderful on your end as it is in this house. So thank you, Gregg. Chris C. is with us tonight. Chris is going to share his experience with Step 10. We are thrilled that there is such rich and strong sobriety in this community, and the wisdom and the experience, the hope of this community is able to be shared, even though we can't sit together in meetings. I know we're Zooming a lot, but while this isn't Zoom, it's close to it. So welcome here. Glad you're a part of it. And again, invite anybody you know who wants to come be a part with us. Thanks. Just tell him what you want. Jesus on the main line. Now tell him what you want. Call him up. you want to get well, now tell him what you want. If you're sick and you want to get well, tell him what you want. If you're sick and you want to get well, tell him what you want. Call him up and tell him what you want. Somebody tell him. Somebody tell him. Come on. Well, tell him what you want. If you got a problem, just tell him what you want. If you got a problem, then tell him what you want. Call him up and tell him what you want. You can call him anytime. The line ain't never busy. So tell him what you want. Whoa, line ain't never busy, no. Tell him what you want. Line ain't never busy, so just tell him what you want. Call him up and tell him what you want. This is the sing-along part. Jesus on the main line. Tell him what you want. Jesus on the main line. Tell him what you want. Jesus on the main line. Tell him what you want. Call him up and tell him what you want. Just call him up and tell him what you want. Call him up and tell him what you want. Yes, sir. I turned around here and I was a little worried because I wasn't seeing that smiling face on the Duchess. The woman is being safe.
It's back here.
It's there.
I know it's back there, and you know how I know? Because those eyes are smiling. And I looked back here and I said, I can still see it. Yes, ma'am.
You're working, but just don't work on you. I got my mojo working, but just don't work on you. I wanna love you so bad till I don't know what to do. I'm going down Louisiana to get me a mojo hand. Going down Louisiana to get me a mojo hand. I'm gonna have all you women right under my command. Got my mojo working. Got my mojo working.
Got my mojo working.
mojo working.
Got my mojo working.
I got my mojo working.
Got my mojo working.
I got my mojo working, but it just don't work on you. I'm going down Louisiana to get me a mojo hand. Going down in Louisiana to get me a mojo hand. I'm gonna have all you women right under my command. Got my mojo working. Got my mojo working. Got my mojo working. Got my mojo working. Yeah, I got my mojo working, but it just don't work on you. Got my mojo working. Got my mojo working. Yeah, I got my mojo working. I got my mojo working. Oh, yeah, I got my mojo working, but it, oh, baby, no, no. It just don't work on you.
Good evening, Low Key family. My name is Chris, and I'm an alcoholic. My sobriety date is July 6 of 05. Step 10, continue to take... Check one.
There you go.
Step 10, continue to take personal inventory, and when we were wrong, promptly admitted it. So step 10 in the Big Book of Alcoholics Anonymous is found on page 84. Starts with these thoughts, bring us to step 10, which suggests we continue to take personal inventory and continue to set right any new mistakes as we go along. So right there, I hear continue twice. So I'm being told that I'm about to repeat an action I've already done, and hopefully at least once. So some of the key points in the book that I really like on this step are we have entered the world of the Spirit, okay? Continue to watch for selfishness, dishonesty, resentment, and fear. Love and tolerance of others is our code, okay? So as we have this paragraph, as we cease fighting anything or anyone, even alcohol, for by this time sanity will have returned. That's a promise in itself right there, because most of my life was just the opposite, okay? We will seldom be interested in liquor. If tempted, we recoil from it as if from a hot flame. We act sanely and normally. We'll find that this has happened automatically. We'll see that our new attitude towards liquor has been given us without any thought or effort on our part. It just comes. That is a miracle of it. We're not fighting it, neither are we avoiding temptation. We feel as though we've been placed in a position of neutrality, safe and protected. We have not even sworn off. Instead, the problem has been removed. It does not exist for us. We're neither cocky nor are we afraid. That is our experience. That is how we react so long as we keep in fit spiritual condition. Fit spiritual condition is attained by the first 9 steps, okay? All right. What we really have is a daily reprieve contingent on the maintenance of our spiritual condition. Every day is a day when we must carry the vision of God's will into all of our activities. How can I best serve thee? Thy will, not mine, be done. These are thoughts which must go with us constantly. We can exercise our will along this line. All we wish is a proper use of will. So basically what the authors of the books are telling me at that point is that my self-will trying to align with God's will, okay, Bing? That's the proper use of it. Anything else is me, it's selfish, self-centered, all the defects we spoke of earlier in there. So my experience with step 10, I'll give you an example. So let's say this morning at work, a guy named Bob works there. I told Bob he wasn't any good at his job, okay? Well, I have to stop and analyze that. Some has come back in, one of my character defects. Ego, fear, resentment, you fill in the blank, they're all there. Well, me stopping and realizing that and looking at that is step 4, okay? So step 10 is actually the practice of 4 through 9 on a daily basis as needed, which for me is usually pretty often. Okay, so step 5, I do talk with either my sponsor or somebody else whenever these do occur. Sometimes I don't, just depending on how bad I went. Step 6 is I become willing for God to take away whatever character defect has resurfaced. Step 7, I humbly ask him for me, which is pray, it's usually on my knees, to please take away this character defect. Step 8 is the list. Well, Bob is the sole person on the list. Step 9 is I go and make a formal amends to Bob. I tell Bob that was uncalled for. I tell my part, and what can I do to make that right, okay? And usually after that's done, it's kind of a God thing. A new relationship usually builds between me and whoever I've offended. Not all the time, but most of the time. So for me, that's basically how I apply step 10 in my daily life. Early in sobriety, step 11 is, thought through prayer and meditation, and we reviewed our conduct of the day if there's any amends to be made. Well, I had a hard time with that because I carry that stuff around all day long. A closer look at step 10 says I should be making the rights wrong as I make them. So that's all I got. Thanks.
Thanks so much to Chris for coming and sharing with him. And I just want to, Chris, thank you. This is going to continue to churn for me for a little bit. I'm very grateful for what you had to say. And it makes clear in a real important way, I think, what I have discovered about the 12 steps of Alcoholics Anonymous is that they're fractal, if you will. I don't know if you've ever seen a fractal image, but you can see that there are patterns in it, and when you blow it up, you see that the big patterns are repeated again in small ways. And there's this pattern, and inside that pattern there are these others. It's a remarkable thing to see, but that's the way the steps are for us, I think, many times. That we find dimensions of every step in virtually every step. And step 10, as you have described it beautifully, the practical exercise of 4 through 9 as I go through my day. It's a wonderful gift. Thank you. So I'm going to ask the band if they will to come back up. If they haven't gotten too comfortable, stretch out the, yeah. And they're going to come back and play for a little bit. So, again, thank you all for being with us. If you would be willing to share your experience with one of the steps, please send a note, a comment, a message to me in some way. You can call me or send a text or do it by email or do it on Facebook, however you want to. I would really like to gather the wisdom of this family so that we can share together what we have learned as a gift, what has been given to us, which is so plainly true in the promises that Chris described in step 10. They're gifts. The promises are things that God does for us that we can't possibly do for ourselves. And that which God has done for you is a miracle that inspires and encourages others. So I want to be able to have you share that if you will. So thank you very much.
Well, I love cake, make no mistake. But darling, if you insist, I'll cut up cake just for your sake. Come on, baby, knock me a big old kiss. I love pie, oh, me, oh, mine. Just get a load of this. When you get hot dog on that pie, come on, baby, knock me a kiss. You press your pretty lips next to mine. Darling, I understood. It tastes like candy, brandy, and wine. Peaches, bananas, and everything's fine. I love ham and I love ram. Well, I'll even eat a spam. Spam can scram, so can the ham. Come on, Jason, like these fine people up here. Yeah. Keep going. When you press your pretty lip next to mine, darling, I understood. Them taste like candy, brandy, and wine. Peaches, bananas, and everything fine. I love ham and I love spam. Why, I'll even eat a ham. Ham can scram, so thank you, ma'am. Come on, baby. Knock me a kiss. Went to see my sweetheart last night about 8. When I got there, knocked on the door, she answered with a roar. I hate you, wait, and I heard a roar. I heard a roar. I heard a roar. Yes, 'cause she's sweet that way. Took her out to a movie, stopped in the first row. She said, squeeze me tight out through the night. You big fat Romeo, and I had to roll. I had to roll. I had to roll. My baby, 'cause you're sweet that way. Went to see my sweetheart last night about 10. When he got there, knocked on the door, she answered with a buffalo roll. Where the heck have you been? And I had to roll. I had to roll. I had to roll. 'Cause you're sweet that way. I had to roll. I had to roll. I had to roll. 'Cause you're sweet that way. She's sweet that way. She's sweet that way.
Awesome. I'm looking for the guys in black ties and tails with cocktail trays.
Candles on the
Yeah,
table.
candles on the table. Oh, lovely. Thank you. Y'all stay close because this is just going to be brief. I feel a little bit more like some of y'all aren't old enough to remember this, but I remember AM radio, top 40 DJs. The songs would spin, you'd get 2, maybe 3, and then here he comes. And he's, and you're going to hear a little of this and a little of that. Well, there's going to be a little more. I'm not going to interrupt and spoil the music, but I do want to give something a little more, I guess, if you will, a little more punctuation to the hour that we spend together. So what I've brought tonight is a poem. I brought a poem that I want to share. It's familiar to some of us. Any of you that are fans of Emily Dickinson, delightful and, I guess you have to have a taste for Emily. But she has written a poem that I think is very, very important for me because it describes exactly the spiritual condition that I find myself in, which is the uncertainty in an unknown world, and the hints of a grace and a presence that I can't confirm, and it's the anxiety that has driven me to compulsive behaviors that try to ease the pain and try to provide security and try to scare away the fears. So anyway, I want to share this poem with you The title of it is This World is Not Conclusion. This world is not conclusion. A species stands beyond, invisible as music, but positive as sound. It beckons and it baffles. Philosophy don't know, and through a riddle at the last, sagacity must go. To guess it puzzles scholars. To gain it, men have borne contempt of generations, and crucifixion shown. Faith slips and laughs and rallies, blushes if any see, plucks at a twig of evidence and asks a vain the way. Much gesture from the pulpit, strong hallelujahs roll. Narcotics cannot still the tooth that nibbles at the soul. Thanks.
Well, I saw her today at the reception. A glass of wine in her hand. I knew she was gonna meet her connection. Her feet were on the footloose man. But you can't always get what you want. You can't always get what you want. You can't always get what you want. But if you try sometime, yeah, you just might find you get what you need. I went out to the demonstration and get my fair share of abuse. We're gonna vent our frustration. We're gonna blow 50 amp fuse. But you can't always get what you want. No, you can't always get what you want. You can't always get what you want. But if you try sometime, yeah, you just might find you get what you need. Went down to the Chelsea drugstore to get your prescription filled. Standing in line with Mr. Jimmy. I said, man, didn't look pretty ill. And we decided that we would have a soda. Favorite flavor, cherry red. I sung my song to Mr. Jimmy, and I spoke one word to me, and now he's dead. He said, you know that you can't always get what you want. No, you can't always get what you want. No, you can't always get what you want. But if you try sometime, yeah, you just might find, oh, you get what you need. Well, I saw her today at the reception, and in a glass was a bleeding man. She was practiced art of deception. I could tell by her blood-stained hands. No, you can't always get what you want. No, you can't always get what you want. No, you can't always get what you want. But if you try sometime, oh, you just might find you get what you need. No, you can't always get what you want. You can't always get what you want. You can't always get what you want. And if you try sometimes, yeah, you just might find, oh, that you get what you need.
Very nice, Mr. Coffield. Let's go to New Orleans one time. Such a night, such a night. Sweet and views under the moonlight. Couldn't believe my ear. My heart just kept beating when you told me take a walk out to the dark end of the street. I came here with my best friend Jim. Here I am trying to steal you from here. Oh, if I don't do it, somebody else will. If I don't do it, somebody else sure will. If I don't do it, somebody else will. If I don't do it, somebody else sure will. 'Cause it's such a night, such a night. Sweet confusion, town is right. Couldn't believe my ear. My heart just kept a beat when you told me take your walk down the street. You came here with my best friend Jim. Here I am trying to steal you right here. Oh, if I don't do it, somebody else will. If I don't do it, somebody else sure will. If I don't do it, somebody else will. If I don't do it, oh, Coffield sure will. Your best friend Jim trying to steal your him. Oh, if I don't do it, somebody else will. If I don't do it, somebody else sure will. If I don't do it, somebody else will. If I don't do it, somebody else will.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So, all of you out there, everywhere you are, say thanks to the band. Again, I want to say Chris McCaa, keyboards and vocals, Professor Porkchop, Shawn Stroope on bass, Duchess Dyer on the drums, behind the mask, the Cheshire Cat, Jason Coffield on vocals and guitar and saxophone,
Yeah, here.
the multi-talented
There.
Rusty.
Just call me Rusty.
Well, no, I'm not going to call you Rusty because people are checking in saying, I remember when I played with Jason Coffield in Colorado at the.
That's my buddy.
Yeah, and I want to say hi to our friend that's checked in from Ireland. Yes, it is an unholy hour, but I tell you what, I'm glad you're with us. I think this makes the farthest reach, and we're glad you're a part of this experience with us. So thanks for being with us. Brothers and sisters, one of the things we do every week is we stop this eloquent language of heaven, which is music. And we stop it for just a short bit because this is but the second language of heaven. The first language of heaven is silence. And there are things that can be expressed and known and heard only in silence. And so we take a few moments. And we spend those few moments in silence so that we can lift our spirit, that divinity, that God part, that gift that is in us that makes us all the same and yet remarkably, uniquely different. That spirit in us can consciously and in surrender reach out to the source of life itself, the very conspiracy of grace that holds us and all of this world, indeed all of creation. And so in that silence, lift up whatever's on your heart, whatever's on your mind. If you've got fear, lift it up. If there are any of those defects that I was checking through as Chris was sharing that need to be surrendered, lift them up. If there is concern for loved ones, brothers and sisters, lift it up. I want to especially ask you to lift up the folks that are indeed the warriors in this battle, and that is the healthcare professionals that go to work every day. They work and labor for life in places we'll never see. Hold them up. Give your spirit to them for the strength and the endurance that they need, that they may be refreshed and sustained, that they may know our gratitude. And for those that suffer from this disease in a way that puts them even beyond the margins, I know ever more poignantly tonight that this disease is cunning, baffling, and powerful. It lurks always at our heels, ready to destroy us. And there are those that have no defense, not even the defense of prayer, for they don't have enough sense of themselves to pray. And so I ask that we always remember those that have no one to pray for them, so that God's grace and this conspiracy that is life will reach also to them, that God may give to them what they need. So for a few moments, let us be in prayer. Let us be in silence. And after the silence, I will say the serenity prayer, and I invite you where you are to say that prayer with me. Serenity prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Thy will, not mine, be done. Amen. I'm going to ask the band to play another song. I'll give a word of blessing as we depart, and thank you all for being with us tonight.
You want to do that one? She knows I made her smoke, and I have lost my way. She knows that I am broke, and I must surely pay. Temptation, temptation, temptation. Oh, I can't resist. Rusted brandy in diamond glass. Everything is made of smoke. Time is honey, slow and sweet. Only fools know what it means. Temptation, temptation, temptation. Oh, I can't resist. Well, I can't resist. She knows I made her smoke, and I have lost my way. She knows that I am broke, and I must surely pay. Temptation.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the time tonight. Thank you for your presence with us, for your spirit that sustains this. Thanks to Gregory, sound engineer, best sound man in town. Thanks to St. Luke's for making this possible. Thanks for your support for making this possible. So we're living in strange times. We're living with a lot of uncertainty. There's a lot of argument, a lot of dispute about what needs to happen and how it needs to happen. I want to offer the opportunity for all of us to trust that there is a God that did not get surprised by this virus. A God who was not unprepared for this virus. And a God who is not unable to deal with any circumstance that we face. I don't know what God's will is, but I know that it is good for me. I know that whatever it is better than I can do for myself. And I invite all of us in this uncertainty not to resort to argument, dissension, and dispute, but let us surrender our spirits to one another, to the common good, to the good of life and of all of us. And especially to give our thanks and gratitude to those who continue to work, who continue to put themselves out there, who continue to exercise their art at healing and at serving, so that indeed together we will come through this. And may we be open to the blessing that God provides. For through this there is brightness and light, lightness and joy. There is, even in the midst of this, those gifts. If we will surrender our emotions, our opinions, and our attitudes to receive that gift that comes. Your life is unique, made on purpose, for the place that you are, for the people that you know, for the occasion in which you live, that you may be a blessing that only you can be. May God use you as that blessing, and may it bring you peace and joy. Amen. Thank you.